I'll move on, yeah, I'll move on. 1 minute, then I go. So this is just me. It's a sound, it's a style, it's a groove, it's a rhythm. No in between. Well, I don't do have to take what you're given. I'll move on, yeah, I'll move on. 1 minute, then I go. This is just me. There's no in between. So
This is just me.
is just me.
Why there
There's
is no in between.
between. So
This ain't my scene, I beg my leave. My face ain't clean, this is just me. Some ways I lean, escaping green. I state my dream, not in between. This ain't my scene, I beg my leave. My face ain't clean, this is just me. Some ways I lean, escaping green. No in between.
this is just me. A sound, a style, a groove, a rhythm. No in between. I don't do have to say what you're given. I'll move on, yeah, I'll move on. 1 minute, then I'm gone. I'm gone. So this is just me. It's a sound, it's a style, it's a groove, it's a rhythm. No in between. I don't do have to say what you're given. I'll move on, yeah, I'll move on. 1 minute, then I'm 1 minute, then this is just me. A sound, a style, a groove, a rhythm. No in between. I know you have to say what you're given.
Right, hello everybody. It is so good to see you here again today. And today I am especially happy because the camera didn't freeze. Just as I had to say hello to you, so yay. Okay, guys, you are watching the Coffee Shop Conversation Show where we give real answers to real entrepreneurs from across the globe. The people on the screen with me are all our tribe members, and they are real entrepreneurs from over everywhere in the world, and they are ready to give you their best answers and best value. Tribe members, thank you so much for being here and for giving your time for this. This is incredible, especially with the questions that we're having today. You're going to ask me what my name is.
Yes, what is your name?
I'm Nestine. This is...
That would make me Peter.
Okay, cool. We're the co-founders of Explore ProTech Entrepreneurial Haven, and we run a entrepreneurial haven that takes care of entrepreneurs from across the globe. We have networking events. We have our tribe, which is a business family of entrepreneurs that take care of each other, support each other, and help each other grow in business. So if that sounds interesting, your first step would be to join us tonight at our global online speed networking event. It's happening tonight. So the link to get your ticket is in the description. You're welcome to use coupon code first timers only if you are a first time attendee, but that is also in the actual description. So let's get going, shall we?
Let's do that.
Okay, amazing. So tribe members, remember, guests are allowed to ask questions. All tribe members are allowed to answer questions. If you feel that you want to answer a question, please pop the heart emoji onto your screen.
Unless your name is Joshua Chandler and you don't have a heart, you can do it like this.
We love you, Joshua. And then me and Peter will cue the answers from there. Okay, everyone ready? Yay! Here we go. Okay, cool. Peter, do you want to pick the first question? We have some really hectic ones.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
This is actually, ooh. Okay, the very first question is actually more of a statement that actually is a question, and this actually would resonate globally. I think everybody in the world actually needs to hear the answers to this. So the statement is, I'm very fearful because of the current state of the economy. How do you cope? From Nicole. Ooh.
Joshua, and then
Ah,
Steven.
all right. So the first step always is to definitely emotionally research yourself and also be more, have a more of an understanding and a heightened awareness of what's going on around you. Because if you people tend to think unethically when they are stressed or scared or etc. But really, it's fear. Only thing you have fear is fear itself. It's fear itself, basically. So, in order for you to be able to thrive and survive, and I'm sorry, thrive and survive, you have to definitely learn how to adapt to the current events, like change, basically change your routines, even. Of course, you have to do some major readjustments to your routines that you're so used to every day. But then, of course, to a dramatic shift within the economy, you're forced to have to go to resort to other means of doing things that you normally do, just in a just differently. So it's just all about having patience with yourself and also having patience with the rest of the world, and just coming to a better understanding of it's a struggle for everyone. So it's not just me. It's just there's a bigger picture out there, So just having that clear understanding about how life is going on, how that's this part of life, then you will have a clearer or more clear perspective on things, or a better understanding of how to cope with everything that's going on right now. And I'm Joshua Chandler, owner and CEO of Who's Your Breakfast.
Ooh.
Thank you, Joshua. I love that. And thank you so much for being here, even though you're driving and I'm traveling. It's amazing. We love you so much.
Thank you. Love you guys too.
Something I really like about what he said is that the bigger picture.
Yeah.
There is a bigger picture. And if you are on your own, it's very difficult to see the big picture. So, yeah, I actually really like that.
Yeah, no, I love it. Like I actually used to, when I first started my audit firm, I used to get into the habit of, and this is going to sound really weird and no one knows this, but I would literally, like, if I get that feeling like I'm gonna die now, like you get so anxious and fearful, like I don't know anymore, like I'm out. I would go outside to the lawn and I would find a place to lie down and I would just look up at the sky, and it would remind me of how big the world is. And I think that is what Joshua is trying to tell us. So that actually just reminded me of that. Thank you so much, Joshua. Yes, thank you. Okay, Stephen, next up, Mr. Mindset.
Hello, Peter. Can you just repeat the statement for me, please?
The statement is, I'm very fearful because of the current state of the economy. How do you cope?
Okay, so I think it's an excellent statement, and I agree with you. I think there's a lot of people out there who will resonate with that particular statement. I'm going to come at this from a slightly different angle. So, as you all know, if you've listened to my podcast, you know that I believe that our emotions are driven by our thoughts, and it's our emotions that drive our actions. The way that I cope is I seek out the opportunities, and there are a lot of opportunities out there. There's a lot of opportunity to pivot or change what you're doing. There's also a lot of opportunity for you to find a new market target. It's all about how you, in my opinion, it's all about how you take action. Now, I agree with what Josh has said. What Josh has said is very, very true. You need to understand where you're coming from. You need to understand what's going on in the world around you. by doing that, what you can do is use that fear to drive you forward, but in a positive way. Fear tends to cripple us. Fear tends to stop us from doing things. But if you practice using that fear as a positive driving force behind what you do, then you're likely to become successful. I hope that makes sense, because I can't tell if Karen is agreeing with me or if she's very confused.
I think
Yeah.
she's agreeing.
But that's what I do. Every time there's been anything negative to do with the economy, anytime there's been anything negative that's impacted the globe, there have been opportunities that have come from that. If we look at how this time last year, not this time last year, but about 16, 17 months ago, who heard of Zoom? Who really used Zoom?
I didn't actually.
But it's true. Like, there are opportunities there, and you have to have the resilience in order to find them. I'm Stephen Westwood from SPW Copywriting, and I'm an author and mindset coach.
Thank you, Stephen.
I think what I'll do is I'll wait until everybody has spoken, because I'm actually picking up an underlying theme. So I think once everybody has spoken, I think then I'll
Mic drop.
drop the mic.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Stephen. It was beautiful. I love that. And I mean, like, just this week in this economy where everyone is going like, there's nothing anymore. Like, no one's buying. Everything sucks. You found an opportunity to make £300 in like an hour, like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's talking from experience, guys. So you can like, it's fine if you feel better now. It's fine. Okay, Tasha, let's hear from you.
Thank you, Nadine. So I want to bring your attention to, this is not the first economic crisis the world's gone through, okay? Economic crises happen regularly, and it's all to do with shifting, and humans adapt. You know what I mean? We are adaptable. So you need to adapt to the economic shift. If you're not adapting, then unfortunately you're gonna suffer. And I feel like now the adaptability and the change that we need to go through is people are forced into entrepreneurship, and it really is that big shift. And what I would suggest you do is watch the video, the first 20 minutes of Nastine and Peter's show with Stephen on Thursday. I'll link it in the comment section below, but watch the first 20 minutes of, it's just amazing, and it will really reassure you that the economy is going to be okay, because Explore ProTech and all the entrepreneurs over here are doing their bit to really push the economy forward and really help you and support you. And another thing just to bear in mind, and something that I'm coping, ask for help, speak to someone. I moved back to my dad's house, you know what I mean? It's been 13 years since I've lived in South Africa, and I chose to rather go home. I chose to rather be in a place where I'm surrounded by loved ones, surrounded by support. And I was speaking to actually Stephen last night. I was saying, you know what? Last year, July, I was lonely in London. And if it wasn't for joining this tribe, I feel like I would have been still lonely. And the fact that I've got tribe members that I can, you know, how can I say? I don't usually get texts from many people, because obviously people's got a life and everybody's scared and et cetera, but my phone is keeping me busy with all these amazing humans that are, you know, it's great. So that's what I personally do. And another thing, because I'm spiritual and I know what I can't live without structure. So I've decided to really ground myself through my own yoga practice or my meditations, because that's what makes me happy, you know. And I came back to live by the sea because that's what makes me happy. So I feel like Find what makes you happy, reach out for help, and know that it's going to be okay, and always ask for support. My name is Tasha, founder of Keep Media Hub, helping you find and turn your passion into a career with online monetization. Thank you.
Oh, Tasha, I want to hug you so hard right now. That was beautiful. I almost started crying. I'm so happy. We're not lonely together anymore. No, wait, together anymore lonely. I don't know, but you know what I mean.
You can cry for both of us.
Okay, deal.
Cool.
That was awesome. I love you so much. Okay, let's hear from one of our newer tribe mates, Rita.
I want to ask this, and I'm not sure who asked the question. I actually want to post another question to whoever the person is that asked the question and say, this the state of the economy right now. What do you see? Do you see a snake, or is there a possibility that it's only a rope? But that's how we as human beings are put together. We all, majority of us have we see the snake. And then we run around, and that creates chaos. That snake, that perceived idea of the snake that we see, creates so much chaos in our lives that we are unable to really see what is going on. It creates chaos in our thoughts, and Joshua and Stephen and Tasha has referred to that. And the moment that there's chaos in our thoughts, we are unable to make the right decisions that are out there. The possibility is out there. We're unable to see it. And therefore, we're unable to make the right decision. So my question is, what do you see? Do you see the snake, or do you see the rope? Rita Skuman, Coaching with Heart.
Oh, yes.
That was awesome, Rita. You're a stunning human being. Thank you so, so, so much. If there was a mic, it would have just dropped by itself.
Oh, look, a piece of rope.
I love that so much. Leonie, you had your heart up. No, you were just giving some love to Tasha.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No worries. Okay, that was amazing. Peter, you said you wanted to summarize before we go to the next question.
Yeah.
I'm already feeling so much better.
Yeah. Oh, look. Hello, we have a Linda.
Yay! And now I'm going to feel even more better. Do you want to give her a chance to maybe answer the question as well?
It depends on whether she heard the question. Can I repeat the question?
Repeat the question.
Okay, so Linda, the question was, or the statement was, from Nicole, and she's saying, I'm very fearful because of the current state of the economy. How do you cope?
Not to put you on the spot or anything.
No, you know.
You just got
you do
here.
that. Hi, everybody. And sorry I was late to the show. I was just coming from one to the next and grabbing a quick snack. But glad I'm here. I think Janine's the same, hey?
Yes.
Same place. We just follow
happy
each
to
other.
both of you.
So it's Nicole, was it? You asked a question? Yeah, hi, Nicole. I'm Linda from Just Ask Linda Business Coaching. I'll just do that at the beginning because I usually forget. But personally, I do something that not that many people do, and it really is personal. I literally ignore all the news. I don't read a newspaper. I don't listen to the news. I don't watch the news. And the biggest reason is, some years back, I was driving to and from Sandton from the south of Joburg, and I would spend 1.5 to 2 hours both ways in traffic, and I'd listen to the 702 radio station, and everyone was always just talking, and it was just always doom and gloom, and it just made me so depressed, and I could not deal with that. So I changed my entire methodology to just be kind of just look at the headlines. So it's not to be ignorant, not to stick your head in the sand, but just to look at the headlines and not be drawn right in to the detail of all the depressing news. The fact is, it's there, it exists. The economy might be bad, somebody might have been hurt, there's a car accident and a big pile up on the N3 or the N1 if you're in Cape Town. And, you know, it's not that it's not there, it's just you need to choose how you live your life. And do you choose to live your life looking at the world as a big pile of snakes, like Rita said? Or do you choose to live your life gleefully? And you can see my little peas up in the corner here. I choose to live my life like those little peas. Happy, energized, and just enjoying what I do as a business coach and enjoying spending time with all these wonderful, amazing people who are members of the Explore ProTech tribe.
Awesome. Awesome.
That's Linda Dane, and that is how you do it. Thank you, Linda. That was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I have no problem ignoring the news. Watch series instead. Amazing. Okay, cool. Peter, you wanted to do a blanket statement and then move on to the next one.
Well, if we look at what everybody has said, there's an underlying story that flows, and that story is that when we have something that happens globally and it affects everybody globally, then everything changes. The way we do business changes. The way we interact with each other changes. I mean, look, we're all online on Zoom, whereas we never used to do that as much. It used to be all in person. So things change. People generally don't do well with change. Change happens and then they panic and then they don't know which way to go. And Rita said that creates chaos in your mind and you then are not able to see the bigger picture. You're not able to make decisions. I think to understand that when situations change, we need to change with them. If we don't change with them, then we're stuck in this place of everything has changed and I now no longer have the skills or am in the right place to do what it is I need to do to survive, to thrive, but what we need to understand is that if we can then take a moment, like Joshua was saying, and Rita was saying, and Stephen was saying, and Tasha was saying, and Linda was saying, take a moment, step back, look at the bigger picture, because it's all about pivoting. But you can't pivot unless you can see the bigger picture. You can't make those decisions unless you can see the bigger picture. Take that moment. Find out what your bigger picture is. Take a look at your environment, find that bigger picture, ground yourself. See what's going on around you. And there are opportunities to pivot towards. So you've just got to find them. And if you can't find them, then speak to people that have. And let them help you find it the same as they did, which is exactly what we're trying to do.
And if you're still feeling fearful, Nicole, I'll tell you there's nothing like an Explore ProTech networking cocktail party to put you back into good spirits. And we're having one tonight after the Global Online Speed Networking event. You are more than welcome to join us. I promise you, you will feel a lot happier once you leave there. Okay, amazing. Karen, you had your heart up, and then Leonie also wants to say something.
I just wanted to say something on the sort of the spiritual line as well, is that, you know, everybody has fear, always. You know, there's no one person here that can say they don't ever get scared. So acceptance is also part of it. Accepting the fact that you're fearful, whether it's fearful of change, whatever that fear is, fear of the economy, it's okay to have the fear. It's what you do with the feeling that makes the difference. And what I like to do, you know, your brain is scanned for negativity. So try and reframe it. Try and find something positive and reframe it, because I think it's only through doing that that you're able to step away, as Peter said, and then focus on the stuff that you want. And the other thing is, inaction breeds fear. So take action on whatever it is that you want to do. And lastly, have a clear message of what success means for you, because it means something different to every single person. So when you're looking out at this fear and you're thinking, oh, you know, this is all happening, what is success to you? It could be getting on a Zoom and actually sitting here and facing the fear of speaking to people or whatever it is. We've all got our own, you know, theory of what things are. So just be you and figure out what it is that you want to do and how you measure yourself. And go for it. Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Love it,
If
Karen.
anybody can speak about just doing it, Karen.
It's Karen. She also, I will never forget, like, Karen, you were so fearful of getting onto Zoom with me for the first time ever. Even though you're you, like, I couldn't believe. I was like, what's wrong with this person? Like, you're so bubbly. Everyone's gonna love you. Just come. We'll do it. We'll go live. Everything will be fine. And yeah, you literally, like, you say yes before you even know. You're like, Nasteen's doing something, let's do it. It's going to be amazing.
Just do it. Take the fear. Yeah. You know, exactly that. Everyone looks at me now and says, geez, you know, I'm so confident. And I still have moments, depending on what show, what questions, what's happening. There's not a day that goes by where I don't face fear on some level. So we're all going to continually do it. But find the thing that actually makes you conquer that fear. There is, you know, it's out there, and focus on that. Don't focus on anything else.
Yeah.
Karen, I have got to ask, how do you think your time in the ring has impacted on the way that you face fear?
Yeah. The first time I ever stepped into the cage and they closed the gate behind me and I realized, oh my word, I'm on my own in here. This is it. It's me and the person. What can you do? You can't turn around and run out, can you? You got to face it head on. So I think it definitely has. There's times when I dig deep and I said, if I can do that, I can do anything. So, you know, overcome it. Try and do things that push you out of your comfort zone. Trust me, that was one of mine. And then the other things that are going on around you don't seem so hectic, because you can say, if I can do that, I can do anything. So.
Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it, love it.
I see that there were some statements in the chat from Mo.
Karen Shreya, fascinating 7. Mo has, wait, Leonie had her heart up, and then we're going to give Mo a chance to speak.
And then
Janine. That'll be amazing.
Awesome.
Okay, Leonie.
Cool. No, I was a good example of fear last year. It's like I didn't want to do anything because I had almost like fear of life. I'd rather stay in my comfort zone and not do anything. Like also fear of failure and fear of change. The moment I started to change that, I actually now see that it's actually opportunities, but you see it as fear. So now I've been like taking on all these opportunities. So it's not fear anymore, and it's actually been exciting. And you don't feel that anxiety of, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to feel scared. You actually feel excited the moment you like get a positive mindset. Yeah.
Leonie, I know Stephen wants to ask you this. Stephen, do you want to ask her or shall I? I can, okay. What did you do the other day that you said like you were so afraid you would never do it and then you did it? And can you tell us the story?
Yes, I went on a kayak. I was afraid of the water and afraid the boat will fall over, or you just think so many fearful things. And so my other friend kept saying, please go, you'll enjoy it. So eventually I went, and it was exciting. And so I wasn't afraid anymore. So the moment you step away from that fear and see it as an exciting opportunity, it was so much fun. I'll do it again.
It's amazing.
Can I just step in here? It's actually not the fact that Leonie steps away from the fear. She steps into the fear and she embraces it and she accepts it. And the moment that she does that, it dissolves.
Wow, that is powerful.
Well, if anybody can relate to Leonie's fear of water, I can, because the other day I put my iPhone into the swimming pool. I was like, oh, well, it can just stay there.
Like, literally.
I'll pitch it later when I build up the courage.
Okay, let's hear from Mo. Oh, you guys are so inspirational. I'm feeling so happy. I love this.
What's up? I'll be brief because literally everybody has said everything that I was going to say. But I'll just say that you must always remember that like fear is temporary. Like fear is like pain. It's a necessary evil, if I can put that, to push you towards becoming like, well, yeah, like living your fullest self and really like living life to your fullest potential. You know, so fear isn't actually always a bad thing. It just means that you're being pushed, and that push is actually a good thing because it's really pushing you to live life to your fullest potential and become the best version of yourself for the time that you're in this realm, in this life. And always remember that it's temporary. That, you know, like fear is like pain, you know, it's temporary, it's gonna pass. The reality is that the economy will eventually turn around. We all will eventually get the vaccine. Like all of this, like life will be very different to what it is right now at some point. And you want to make sure that you're there to see it. You know, like you want to make sure that you get out onto the other side. So always just keep that in mind, that hashtag this too shall pass. And that at some point, you know, nothing lasts forever. Um, and another thing that has helped me as well, because I've a lot of fear about a lot of things, but is always to think about the price of that
Mo, you
fear.
always look so fearless.
Is hashtag fake it till you make it. No, but on the real, it's like always think about the price of that fear, like the price of not doing it, the price of not asking the question, the price of not unmuting your mic and, you know, going off your video, the price of not showing up, like because then you'll never know. Like if you, it's that classic case, if you don't show up to the audition because you're afraid the director's not going to pick you, you're just never going to know if that was your gig. You're never going to know if that was your deal, you know. And that's a heavy price to pay, I think, because worst comes to worst, the worst thing that can happen is someone says no, and that's okay. Like it's not for you, and that's all right. That's like the worst thing that can happen. It doesn't work out, and you move on to the next one. So always just keep that in mind, and take it one day at a time. I'm a very big believer that sometimes that the best way to eat an elephant is one piece at a time. And sometimes we get too busy with 5-year plans and, you know, oh, my friend's got this 10-year glide path to becoming, you know, the president of the country. And we feel all this pressure to have these big plans and big glide paths, which are great. But what is that like on a day-to-day basis, you know? And I focus on little things. When especially I'm really anxious and, you know, my mental health is wonky and I'm fearful, I'm anxious about deals and whether things are going to work out. I literally come back to the fact that I gotta wake up this morning. I'm gonna take a shower. I'm gonna make my bed. I'm gonna change into clean clothes. I'm gonna set up my desk. Or I'm gonna leave the house and go to Mug and Bean and spend the day there. Like little things like that, you know, that action, like little things that push you to do something, you know, little things like that. People, I mean, now that we live at home, we underestimate the power of getting up in the morning and going towards something. And that's the one thing I miss about going to the office. The power in I'm starting my day. I'm chasing something. There's something I'm running towards versus running from. So find ways of introducing that into your life, even if you're like, you know, still stuck at home and you're working from your bedroom or something. That's Mo Malele from Mo Malele Poetry. Yeah.
Thank you, Mo.
You know what, Mo, something that you said was make sure that you are there to see it. The pain is temporary, the fear is temporary. Make sure you're there to see it when it changes.
Yeah.
I think that is actually very key because a lot of people quit before just before the change comes. So if you're in that space where you're like, I've had enough, I'm quitting, get that out of your mind. Because as Mo said, the fear is temporary. The change has to come. It's the way things work. Things go in ups and downs and cycles. If you give up, 9 times out of 10, you're giving up just before it changes, and things can change so quickly. You just have to ground yourself to find the opportunity. So that statement, make sure you are there to see it. Hang tight.
Thank you, Mo. Mo, I have to just quickly ask you, what's the chances of us hearing your Economic Warrior poem at the end of this session? Please.
I'll make a plan. I'll make a plan.
Yay!
I'll make a plan between now and when we drop off. All right.
Amazing. Thank you. Okay. Janine, let's hear from you. I'm very keen to hear from you.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I don't know what I'm going to say. No, I'm kidding. I know. Okay. So I said this before, fear can have, it's two ways. Forget everything and run, which you're not going to do because you're not alone. The entrepreneurship is a ship of space for everyone. Or face everything and rise. How amazing is that? So I would want to say to you the one thing, and I think it was Nicole that asked this question. When I wanted to start my own business, I was scared. I'm not going to lie. But I immediately realized that I need people that's going to work with me in my flame and not in my wax. And what does that mean? I'm going to get people that's constantly positive, constantly cheering me on, and not people pushing me down and telling me, oh, that's such a bad idea. No. Goodbye, you are the weakest link. You only focus on people that helped you burn your flame. And yes, fear is only temporary. I'm Janine from Jelani Sales, cold calling made warm.
That was really good for someone that didn't know what they were going to say, Janine. You're such a show off. Oh, guys, I'm loving this so much. I am getting so pumped. Like, I actually, you know what? When we started this talk, I was like, all of these questions about where the economy is going to go and when is it going to get there and the retrenchments and crap, it actually like got into my head a bit. Like, I have to actually admit that. But having this session with you guys this morning, like, wow, I so needed this. I think the world needs this right now. So I, for one, am going to promote the crap out of this. And look at Linda. We love you, Linda. You're amazing. Okay, awesome. Oh, we have to get to this question, please, Peter. This one.
Well, seeing as though I kicked it off,
Yeah.
it's all you.
No, it's your turn.
What do you mean? It's my turn.
Read that question.
Ooh, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have some doozies. Okay, so the question is actually not. I suppose it is a question. Tell us your best story of overcoming fear.
This is from Gabriel, and our amazing VA Somerville literally just let me know that this came in the Facebook group as we were speaking about this. So I think she's super into it. So can we please tell her your best stories of overcoming fear? Tasha.
So I have a lot because I put myself in very fearful. I tend to put myself in many challenging situations, and that is to challenge myself because I love to be challenged. But the first story that came to mind that is really awesome is I had an opportunity in 2014. There was a DJ competition with all females, and basically it was, with the biggest female DJ, Lisa Lashes, online. And well, we basically, anybody could enter any genre, just as long as you're female. You had to record a mix, put online, and you'll be judged, and then you'll go into a preliminary round, and then you'll end up being judged again, and then the winners will be announced. Now, I was fearful because my first thing that came into my mind is I'm not good enough. At the time, I thought I was 3 years DJing, but I felt I just changed genres and I felt not good enough. And fear nearly stopped me from not putting the mix online. And what I did is I thought, stuff it. I'm going to put this mix online and try to get as many people online to play my mix, because the person with the most, the top 5 with the most plays can go through to the next round. Anyway, I landed up coming 6th, and I was like, better luck next time. Then I get a phone call saying, congratulations, Tasha, you've just made it through to the finals. I was like, what? So the girl that, one of the girls, she actually got disqualified for having lyrics in her, foul lyrics in her set, which was against the rules. And I obviously was the next one up. So I landed up going into the next one. And it was so intense. I was working at the time and it clashed with my work schedule. So I literally had to almost take a break, drive all the way from Liverpool to Manchester, do this set quickly for half an hour. And I had a sore wrist. I was so fearful, of course, because another thing within fear is the sound didn't sound right. It wasn't coming from both ears. It was only coming from one ear. And I thought, you know what? I can't do my best version of me if my setup is not great. So I said, look here, something's not right. I spoke out. I spoke my value and I spoke my truth. Anyway, next minute I know, cool, did my thing, went back to work. And then I got a phone call. Congratulations, Tasha, you just won the competition. You just won a free MacBook Air. You just won a year supply of beauty products. You got to DJ in London, all these things. And the reason why I love this story is, number one, overcoming fear is sometimes just trying and see what happens. You never know the possibility. Number two, within that fear as well, is speak up for yourself. Also know that you are in your own right to speak. So for me, it's just really go for what you want and don't think, I'm not good enough. Don't let that mind of self-doubt get you down, because you could be the next superstar of whatever in your own field. Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Tasha Cole from KIF Media Hub. We love you. That's amazing. It's such a cool story. It's amazing. It's amazing how like your best achievements are just on the other side of fear. Most times. Rita, you had an awesome story.
Yeah, and it's my own story in when I started my coaching business. And just before I started my coaching business, it was really a very deep moment of the dark night of the soul. And I had to go very, very deep to get myself out from where I was at that point in time. And that was really, that digging deep is facing all those fears that Tasha spoke about. It's facing, I'm not good enough. Can I do this? What will other people say about me? Who the hell cares what they say about you? It is you. You are the human being. I am the human being. I've been created this way and I am awesome. But we are we grow up so much with this idea of who we should be. The outer world, they create on our behalf a perception of who we should be. And until we've removed all those facades that we've got, we will always live in fear. And the quicker that we can start working with those masks that we are wearing and acknowledging, you know, they like a shadow. You can't get rid of them, unfortunately. And I'm sure we all remember when we were smaller, we tried to jump on our own shadow and we just couldn't get it right. It will always be there. But it is what Leonie did. And she stepped into that fear. And she embraced it. But she embraced it without judgment. And that's when you really conquer your own fear. That's when you conquer who you are and you just create somebody totally new. Thank you. Rita Skuman, Coaching with Art.
Thank you, Rita. It's amazing to see your beautiful heart online. Thank you so much. Everyone loves you. Okay, Joshua, you had your heart up. Do you want to tell us your story of overcoming fear?
Whew, wow. I would say probably the most fearful thing I ever endured was when I had um, lost a loved one that was so dear to me, to where I was, from that individual, I knew what love was, and it being in that level, in that caliber of fear, it's like once you've lost someone that's so dear to you and close to you, and you lose them, you have nothing but fear, because it's like, what direction do you go from there? Where's the nurturing coming from? Where's that love that you've learned so much from? Where has that gone? And especially if you're even at a young age, you're at a young age where you much of anything, because you know that you're the very thing that was love, made of love, is gone now. And you know, I mean, it's part of evolution, I guess. You grow out of it eventually, or you move on, or or maybe that person's always still in your heart with you, or every time you think of them, you might have a tear come down. But that, just know that you've adapted, you've gotten stronger on handling your emotions better. And it's just like I said, like we've all basically have already said it, adapt, move forward, um, don't look back, don't give up. She wouldn't want me to stop there once she left, or things in that aspect. And you know it's just it's the inevitable. Change is the inevitable. Adapting is the inevitable. Sure, you can prolong it as long as you think you can, but eventually, there's going to be a time where you're hit something in the road, to where you have no choice but to change or adapt. Because if you don't, and like you said, like Tasha even said, you'll suffer even. But fear, it only exists for us to conquer. Honestly, it was made to existence for us to use and to utilize and to overcome. Everything has a reason for its existence, and its reason, and its, but yeah. And then also, of course, when I went on the talent show playing violin, came after the person that sung a really awesome song. I played "End of the Road" by Boyz II Men, I think, and then I played that on violin. And surprisingly enough, I was stuck and froze for a second, and then I took a big deep breath, thought of that loved one, and then next thing you know, I won the talent show.
Oh, Joshua, thank you. That was an awesome story. I love it.
I actually think that a lot of people can actually relate.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for sharing that, Joshua, and for stepping into your vulnerability with us. You just helped a lot of people feel very much less alone. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Karen, you had a story, and then we
Oh,
want to hear Linda's story, and then I think we got to wrap up with Mo's poem because we're running out of time.
mine's going to come from fighting, obviously. We spoke about it earlier, but it was one of my fights where the person that I was fighting was from Namibia. So normally what we do is, when we know who we're fighting, we go and Google them, or we find out from the club who they are, who they fought before, what they've done. We get as much info as we can, and then we psych ourselves out. Not really, but so what I did was I tried everything to find out about this girl, and I couldn't. So already I had that fear in my mind, like, I don't know anything about her. Here I'm going in. It was the first female fight at Cape Fight League as well. So it was a big thing, and I really, really was nervous. And I remember, I don't like running, but every time, I think the point of this is preparation, because it didn't change the fear, but knowing that I was doing this, couldn't get the information, what can I do to control this? So what I did was I started putting in really extra effort into my training. I started running longer, and I kept thinking, she's probably training harder than I am, so what can I do to keep going? And I really prepped for the fight. And then I went to the weigh-ins the day before, and my coach didn't turn up. He was stuck in traffic. And she stood up, and she was heavier than me. She had legs that I thought, oh my gosh, if this woman kicks me, I'm going to die. And I'm standing there thinking to myself, this is going to happen. Like, how can I do this? I'm going to go and have a bumper basher and pretend I've got whiplash or something, whatever I can do to actually get myself out of the fight by saving face. Anyway, my trainer cottoned on to the fact that I was going through this thing, and he came to fetch me at 2:00 in the afternoon the next day, and he kept me with him the whole day before the fight started. And I remember going into the warm-up area, and we were on different sides of the camp, but all I could hear her was like, wah, wah, and I was thinking, oh my word, what am I going to do? And he said to me, there's nothing you can do. You've prepped. You've done everything possible that you can do to actually take this fight. Now you've got to get control of your thinking. And so I started visualizing myself winning the fight. And you know what? When I got into that cage, you walk down, as you know, the fight's on, the music goes, and you're on your trainer, and they close the gates. And I just thought, this is it. I've done everything possible that I can. All I can do is do the best that I can. And that's what I did. And I won the fight. And it was actually a lot easier than I thought, because just the fact that I looked at her and made all these decisions about what could possibly go wrong, she actually didn't end up being a great fighter. So it was the fear that I put there about, worst possible case scenarios, that I spent so much time actually stressing about the fact that she was everything that she wasn't. So sometimes, that fear that we have is also not real at all. It's something that we put in our brains. It's get rid of it. Just prepare as best you can, do what you can, do the best that you can, and then let everything fall as they should.
Karen, that's the snake that you saw instead of the rope.
100%. 100%. Yeah. But the snake did fuel me to put in extra effort, which I might not have done had I been confident. So like they said, that fear pushing you further, that's exactly what it does. If you use it correctly, it pushed me to actually go and prep better and to make sure that when I got in there was no holes in my game. I'd actually done everything that I could. I didn't just sit back and go, see how it falls. I actually took action. So take action.
So Karen actually took the snake and used it as a rope.
That's what parents do. Nice.
Yeah.
You had your heart up. Let's hear your story, please. Quickly.
Me.
Yes, you. I don't see another Stephen on the call today.
I didn't hear the name. That's why I was like, wait, is this me? So, as you all know, I tend to not let fear stop me. I tend to go forward with everything I said that I'm going to do. However, there is one time I came close. I talk about it in my book. I've spoken about it on my podcast. And that is, bear in mind, I have done skydiving in the past, but that wasn't scary compared to standing on the ledge at the top of a building about to jump off. So what I'm talking about is the Stratosphere building in Las Vegas. And I had booked it weeks and weeks in advance. I was like, yes, I'm going to do this. This is going to be fun. And I get there, I get into the kit, I get the harness on. We go all the way up. And they do a debrief, telling you basically, the safety and stuff like that. Get to the ledge. He connects my harness to the rig. And he's like, okay, just stand on the ledge, put your feet towards the edge of the ledge, and just look down so you can see where you've got to jump to. And I did that, and I looked down, and I instantly went, and I can hear the words coming out of my mouth, oh no, I don't think I can do this. And I stepped back, and it was literally that was the tone I used. Oh no, I don't think I can do this. And I stepped back, and he put his hand on my shoulder, and he said, just look at me for a second. And I said, okay. I looked at him, and he goes, it's not a leap of faith. I'm not asking you to run and jump off. Just take a step like you would if you were going downstairs. The rig will have you. You're harnessed in. It is safe. You will be okay. It's just a step. So I got to the edge again, and I was like, it's just a step. It's just a step. So I took the step, and it was thrilling. It was so fun. But up until that point, I had the choice of saying no and going back down and not feeling like I'd fulfilled what I wanted to do. But I'm so glad that I did. But ultimately, that gave me the message that I take to everything that I do. It's just a step. And that's why I can do everything I set my mind to.
Oh, that's amazing. So guys, if you're still fearful, buy Stephen's book and then go jump off a building. We love you, Stephen. Thank you so much for sharing. Peter, do you want to share your story before Mo?
Well, I'm sure this is actually pretty common because everybody's been through situations like that. But who remembers high school?
Sure, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. I think in the situation that I was in, where facing one person for me was not really fearful. I mean, I've always been capable, and I've always been trained to be capable. But high school has always been quite a dangerous place. It's been a place where, I mean, high schoolers and teenagers, they face fears every day. High school just happens to be the place where those fears come to reality. So not facing one bully, but a group of bullies for me was at one point in time a huge fear. When a group understands that they can't actually face you on their own, they need to actually become a group to become bullies together. And for me, it was, I knew that it was going to come to a headway. I knew that things were going to happen. And to actually psych myself up to actually face that fear. But in reality, they were all cowards and not what I thought they were. They were this group of people that illustrated so much strength in their numbers, which wasn't my reality at the time. But if I look at the reality, they were all just a bunch of cowards. And because of my approach to the situation as a group, their position of strength turned into cowardice very quickly, even as a group. So sometimes we just have to, like everybody has said, utilize that fear, step into that fear, and you'll actually be surprised. The reality of what your fear actually is not generally what the truth is. So yeah, I'm pretty sure, by the way, my name's Peter, and if you guys remember me from high school,
Oh, thank you, Peter. It was so cool. This morning's thing was so cool. Okay, guys, we're gonna play out with Mo Malele's Economic Warrior poem. I don't think, like, if you're thinking about being fearful and fear as an entrepreneur, there's nothing better to hear than this poem. It's my new favorite thing in the world. Thank you so much for agreeing to deliver it for us, Mo.
Awesomeness. All right, I'll jump right into it. All right, to my fellow economic warriors. Chaos creates opportunity for those who can see with impunity, the ones who can hear past the noise and see through the toys, the one who carry the economy in their hearts and wear it on their sleeves. They bleed so the rest of us can eat, not ruled by greed because they understand we all lose if they cheat. They stand at the forefront of the fire and bear the brunt of the heat. They don't crowdsource their self-esteem through tweets. Instead, they plant seeds and know they'll never fully reap what they sow, but the trees will grow, the wind will blow, and change will show. This is for you. Yes, you, the economic warrior, stone cold soldier, tenacious business owner, economic organ donor, who walk on water even when ye are of little faith. They power through pain, push through the rain, go against the grain. They break through chains, work through the strain, never cower, faint, or fade. They take pride in what they have made, sacrifices laid, and the lives that they have changed. They talk when their voices are shaking. They walk when blinded by the unknown. They act when paralyzed by instability. They bet on themselves even when the odds are against them. Put their best foot forward despite their rejection. They work through loss and grief even when they've spent the night crying themselves to sleep. They listen to things unsaid, read a room like reading a book because they check for a pulse first. They hear before they are heard, feel before they are felt, care for before they are cared for. They carry the weight of the world on their shoulders so we don't have to. This is for you. Yes, you, the magic makers, path creators, seers in the dark, the risk takers, innovators, inventors, future demonstrators, vision generators, the builders of something from nothing, the finders of beauty in ugly, the diamonds in the rough, the job producer, livelihood giver, food on the table putters. Remember that Nelson Mandela spent 27 years of his prime in one place, but was somehow still walking to freedom, which is to say, real progress is not always physical, but sometimes mental and spiritual. Remember that you are stronger than you think, that your shoulders are broader, your stride is longer, your voice is louder than you think, that you can handle whatever life throws at you. Remember that the world needs you, that you are at the center of all the answers to all the questions the world has. And as lonely as it gets, as lonely as it feels, remember that you are never alone. There is an army of soldiers, a legion of warriors, a pride of lions, a gaggle of geese, a soar of eagles, a family of lovers, a gang of motivators, investors, and supporters, rooting and cheering you on every step of the way. So keep on keeping on, because in you lies a passion that can ignite the world, a power that can unite it, and a purpose that can and will change it. This, my love letter to you, my economic warrior. Thank you.
Oh, you're amazing.
And for those of you that haven't heard, Mo Malele is what we consider our voice of Africa.
And apparently that is our tribe's team song. That was
And Tasha's
epic.
making a beat.
Oh!
Tasha and I are working together. We're on that collab, Steve, Tasha and I.
So,
I saw it. When I was watching Tasha watching, her head was going like this, and I could see in your mind, Tash, you were doing this whole thing. I could see it. Awesome.
Mo, when is the album coming?
The single's coming first, and it's
yeah,
called
the single's coming first.
Economic Warrior.
Yeah. So I put a hold on the album because the singles are I like calling my name right now. So I'm going to be releasing a couple of singles, and then the album will follow sometime.
Russell.
We'll be the first to know, right?
Yeah, of course.
Sorry, Mo, what do you call a man with no arms and no legs in a pile of leaves?
Is it a multiple choice?
No.
Can I? Is there? Yeah. Can I just multiple choice that out? I don't know, fam. Like,
call a friend.
Well, let's just call it. Let's just give him a name. His name would be Russell.
No, it's so lame. I'm sorry.
But I'm not too sure yet if you and Russell have spoken
About putting your album on his platform.
No.
Not yet. We'll make it happen.
Okay,
No.
Amazing.
We'll make it happen.
Guys, that has been the coffee shop conversations for today, complete with all the most amazing freaking entrepreneurs from across the globe in the whole world. They've given you so much value. We'll do it again, same time, same place next week, Friday. We'll be here. We'll be answering your questions. If you have questions for us, put it in the comments. Please like and share our video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, so that you don't miss any of this amazing content from these amazing people. Tribe members, we love you, and we will see all of you tonight at our global online speed networking event.
It's going to be epic.
Remember to stay for the after party. Guys, see you again next week. We love you, and may all your entrepreneurial dreams come true.
Make sure you subscribe and like this video, and let us know in the comment section what is your biggest fear that you have faced and overcome.